Hello students. In the last class we discussed about the rules for tracing images formed by concave mirrors. In today's class we will discuss how these images are formed when the object is kept at different positions in front of a concave mirror. Let us start. The first case is when the object is kept at infinity, that is very far off. As you can see in the diagram, AB is the object that is kept at infinity. The light rays coming from a far off object are always parallel. As you can see in this diagram, these are the incident rays. When these incident rays strike the mirror, they get reflected and get concentrated at a point called focus. So here point F or focus is the position of image. So we see here that the image is formed at focus. Image is highly diminished or point sized and the image is real and inverted. Why real and inverted? Since the reflected rays actually meet at point F. And students, please note here that in case of a mirror, a real image is always formed in front of the mirror. The second case is when the object is kept beyond center of curvature. Here AB is the object which is kept beyond center of curvature. Consider point A on the object. A ray of light starting from point A and parallel to the principal axis of the mirror passes through the focus of the mirror after reflection, and another ray which passes through the center of curvature of the mirror retraces its path after reflection. And the point where these two rays intersect, that is point A dash, this is the image of point A. Likewise, we can say that A dash B dash is the full image of object AB. So here we see that the image is formed between C and F. Image is diminished, that is smaller in size, and the image is still real and inverted since it is formed by actual intersection of the reflected rays. The third case is when the object is kept at the center of curvature. As you can see in the diagram, AB is the object which is kept at C. A ray of light starting from point A and parallel to the principal axis passes through the focus after reflection, and another ray of light which passes through the focus becomes parallel after reflection from the mirror. These two reflected rays intersect at point A dash, which is the image of point A. And similarly, we can draw the full image, that is A dash B dash is the full image of the object AB. We can see here that the image is formed at the same point, that is at the center of curvature. Image is also of the same size. Image is still real and inverted since it is forming by actual intersection of the reflected rays. The fourth case is object is kept between center of curvature and focus. So here AB is the object. A ray of light starting from point A and parallel to the principal axis passes through the focus after reflection. Another ray of light that is incident normally on the mirror retraces its path after reflection. And these two reflected rays meet at point A dash, which is the image of point A, and A dash B dash is the image of object AB. So we see that here in this case the image is formed beyond C, image is enlarged, that is larger in size, and the image is still real and inverted. The fifth case is when the object is kept at the focus F. Here AB is the object which is kept at F. A ray of light starting from point A and parallel to the principal axis passes through the focus after reflection. Another ray starting from point A and incident normally on the mirror retraces its path. Retraces its path after reflection. That is, they get parallel after reflection. So in this case, the image is formed at infinity. Image will be highly enlarged forming at infinity, though we can't see it, and image will be real and inverted as well, since it is forming by actual intersection of rays at infinity and it is forming in front of the mirror. The sixth case is when the object is kept between the pole and focus, or you can say that the object is kept within the focal length of the mirror. Here, AB is the object which is kept within the focal length. A ray of light incident obliquely on the mirror gets reflected obliquely following the laws of reflection. Another ray of light starting from point A and incident normally on the mirror retraces its path after reflection. These two reflected rays do not meet at all. In fact, they diverge. But if we try to plot them backward, we see that they appear to be coming from a point A dash, that is, they appear to be diverging from a point A dash. So here this A dash is the virtual image of point A. Why virtual? Since the rays are not actually intersecting at point A dash, instead they are just appearing to be diverging from point A dash. Likewise, A dash B dash is the virtual image of full object AB. Note here that whenever the image is virtual, we need to draw it dotted as shown in the diagram. Here A dash B dash is drawn dotted, and also when you plot the rays backward to see where they are appearing to diverge from, those rays are also drawn dotted. Since the rays are not actually going beyond the mirror, we are just trying to trace them to see where they are coming from. So you need to draw these dotted. So here the image is formed behind the mirror. Image is enlarged and now the image is virtual and erect since the rays are not actually meeting at the point. And also you see here, whenever the image is virtual in case of a mirror, it is always formed behind the mirror. A virtual image always forms behind the mirror. Here in this table, we have summarized whatever we have learnt above. All the six cases, all six positions of the object, the respective positions of images, size of images, and the nature of images. Please note here that as the object is brought closer to the mirror, the image keeps on getting farther from the mirror. And the size of the image also keeps on increasing in first 5 cases, except the last case where the image is still enlarged but not highly enlarged. In first 5 cases, the image is real and inverted, and only in the last case when the object is kept within the focal length, the image is virtual and erect. The next topic is the uses of concave mirrors. The first use is that the concave mirrors are used in torches, searchlights, vehicle headlights, etc. How it works? See, whenever the source of light is kept at the focus of a concave mirror, we get a powerful, intense, parallel beam of light after reflection. This is case 5 as we have discussed above. The second use is that concave mirrors are used as shaving mirrors or makeup mirrors. The only condition is that the face should be placed within the focal length of the mirror. This is the case 6 we have discussed above. We have learned that whenever an object is placed within the focal length of a concave mirror, the image formed is larger and erect also. So we use a concave mirror to see larger and erect image of our face. The third use is that concave mirrors are used by dentists to see large images of the teeth, as you can see in this diagram. Here also, the object should be kept within the focal length, that is, the teeth should be kept within the focal length of the concave mirror to see their enlarged image and erect image. This is again case 5 that we have discussed above. The fourth use is that concave mirrors are used to concentrate sunlight in a solar furnace to get immense amount of heat. This is the case 1 that we have discussed above, that is when parallel rays coming from a far off object, that is sun, when these parallel rays strike on the mirror, they get concentrated at a point called focus. And when so much sunlight gets concentrated at the focus of the mirror, a large amount of heat is produced which can be put to further uses. So that is all about concave mirrors. We will discuss about convex mirrors in our next class. That's all for today. Thank you.